Hi guys, my name's Tom. You may know me from the Life Rooms. I'm a recovery learning facilitator. Today I'd just like to present a short little video really on anxiety and how we manage it. It's clearly it's a very difficult time for everybody at the moment, and what we're trying to do, we've had the shot unfortunately, as you know. We're trying to provide some online material, so I've got a few little bits here that I'm going to go through, and hopefully that might help you from home. So first of all, a little bit about anxiety. So what is anxiety? Well, we know that it's the feeling of nerves. I'm quite nervous being on camera today. It's nerves, it's shaking hands, it's that feeling of what do we that pit of your stomach. You've got racing heart, sweaty palms. So we've got all these physical symptoms. It's that feeling of unease and anxiety and worry that we get when we react to certain situations in life. And at the moment, with what's happening unfortunately with the virus, a lot of us are feeling anxious. And first of all, I'd just like to say that's absolutely normal, and it'd be quite strange if you weren't anxious in these times. It's a very difficult time for everybody, but what we can do is learn to manage it a little bit better, and that applies to me and to everybody else as well. So what I'm going to talk a little bit of theory stuff on the board, and then we're going to talk about some sort of relaxation techniques and other little bits as well for distraction. And so that's what we're doing today. First of all, you may know from our sort of our classes that we do this thing called the vicious circle, and this is kind of, without going into too much depth, this is kind of taken from CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, and we formulate this kind of model, right? So the example I've got doesn't apply in the current climate because we're being told not to go to bus stops, but this is one that we use in our sort of everyday class, so it's just a kind of stock example. So the example here is basically we've got a situation that causes us anxiety, okay? So then that situation causes us to have certain thoughts that may be unhelpful. These thoughts cause us to have certain feelings, which cause physical symptoms, which cause behaviour, which then feeds back into thoughts, and you can see how that vicious circle of anxiety goes round and round, okay? So the example I've used today is you're at a bus stop, you wave at a friend, but they don't respond, okay? So you think, why are they not responding, okay? So you think, have I done something wrong? Do they not like me? We're getting that anxiety already. Feelings, we feel upset, anxious, maybe angry. What have I done to upset this person? They've ignored me. Physical symptoms, so we've got our stomachs churning, our increased heart rate, our sweaty palms, hot head, which then influences our behaviour, okay? So we might go home when we had something to do, we might switch off our phone, or we might just go to bed. Basically we withdraw and we start avoiding things. Again, we can reformulate this in terms of being at home, but you get the idea with the vicious circle, and that then feeds into further thoughts, so you feel bad about withdrawing, and it goes round and round and round. So this is a kind of basic formulation of the vicious circle of anxiety, and what we kind of encourage is that at this stage, we can't kind of affect the situation. These things happen, but we can affect how we react to the situation, how our thoughts, we can reframe our negative thoughts. And there's various ways in which we can reframe our negative thoughts. So we take these patterns of unhelpful thinking and we reframe them. So one type, and what I'll do is we're going to put this online for you, challenging unhelpful thoughts. I'll just mention a couple of the different categories of unhelpful thinking. So we've got catastrophizing, which is one I'm really bad for. So that's where we think a situation is way worse than it is. Now clearly we're in a difficult situation, but we can still catastrophize, right? Focusing on the negatives, so that's where, as it says on the tin, really we're focusing on the negatives as opposed to the positives. Predicting the future, so what if this happens, what if Y happens, what if X happens, when really maybe nothing will go wrong. All of this is difficult stuff, but it can help. So if we categorise those unhelpful thoughts and reframe them, this can help get us into the process of stopping this vicious circle going, okay? So as I say, we'll put these two online. We've got the vicious circle and the challenging, unhelpful thoughts, and you can put your own examples in there, okay? Now, before we finish, this is the most important bit, I think, really, for today, is at home, we're going to be isolated, right? We're going to be on our own, potentially with family. What are we going to do if we have an anxiety attack, if we have a panic attack? Well, one thing we can do is distract ourselves. What can we do to distract ourselves? Well, we've got a whole host of things. We've got crosswords. I love a crossword. I always carry one around in my bag. You can still go to the newsagents, so crosswords are still available, and obviously the supermarkets. We've got books. I like to read a book. DVDs, more crosswords. You can tell I'm a fan of crosswords. Cards, maybe have a game of cards at home. These are all things that kind of take our mind out of that initial panic moment of anxiety and potential panic attack and bring us back down. For me, it has to be something active, but it could be listening to music, it could be doing something creative, colouring in. Also, once we're in that sort of more calm state, we've got to look out for ourselves and relax a bit. We're going to have a bit of time on our hands, let's face it. So, you know, light an incense stick maybe, do a bit of cooking, a bit of drawing, cultivate a new hobby, you know, learn a language, do a Rubik's Cube. There's absolutely loads of things we can do. I think I'll be here for too long, but otherwise, I'll carry that on later. Yes, but it's good to pick up a new skill. These things we can cultivate. These things we've got time now, okay? Creativity is great. All of this stuff is great. That's a kind of whistle-stop tour, really, of ways that I deal with anxiety. A little bit of theory. You know, it's a really tough time. We're all thinking about you out there. We're going to come out with some more videos, hopefully soon, and look forward to seeing you very soon, hopefully. And staying well, staying home. I look forward to seeing you again. Okay, thank you.